Hi students, it's me, Dorothy. I'm going to show you what your e-portfolio should look like at the end of the fall, beginning of spring, and the end of spring semester. It should start off with your home page. You should have a little description of your education, a picture of yourself, and a little description about you, your hobbies, your interests, how to get in touch with you, or your contact information. Your next tab should have program outcomes and Wisconsin standards. Uh, your course tab should have course descriptions. All your course descriptions need to be listed with their name, their number, and the brief summary of the course. If you need to know where to look for this information, please refer back to video 1. But let's take a quick look at the list of them. Depending if you're going for the certificate, you need to have the tabs under for certificate, except Intro to Education Practices, and then Technology and Education. You do not need those tabs because you will not be submitting assignments for those classes onto your ePortfolio. Another one you don't need a tab for is Equality in Education. This one you do have an assignment, but it's going to be listed under Service Learning, Honors, and Awards. The following ones need to go on if you're going to get the degree program. So it's all the ones above for the certificate, and then the last 3 for the degree program: Techniques in Math, Techniques in Language Arts, and your practicum 2. So you need all those course descriptions in there. You're not going to have business math or anything outside the program or your gen ed ones. You're going to need a tab called Teaching in the Contact Areas, and you're going to have sub-tabs for each subject that you have a class in: math, science, reading, social studies, and language arts. You're going to have a tab for special education with 3 sub-tabs: for supporting students with special health needs, overview of special education, and then supporting students with disabilities. You should have a tab marked for child and adolescent development, which you had added assignments in the fall. You should have behavior management, service learning, honors, and awards, and then professional development, where your practicum 1 and 2 will go in. But let's look at child and adolescent development. For this, you should have inserted 3 different assignments: your do-it-yourself learning game, your positive growth mindset. This was a group activity. And then your final project, which was child development. This is where you analyze the growth motor skills and fine motor skills of a child of a certain age. And you basically learned about their age group and their growth. At the end, that was at the end of fall and beginning of spring, what you should have. Now, what you should have for the end of fall, what you should have at the end of spring, you should have science. In your techniques of science, you want to have a poster for science safety. Science safety requirements. List a few safety things that are not listed on your poster that you should recommend your students to do. to be safe in a science lab or setting. An assignment I recommend, but is not required, is your inquiry process assignment. You do need to have one assignment in there besides your science safety recommendations, and then your final science project video. You need to add that plus a brief summary. If you get your video or experiment ideal from a book or a website, add it to your summary as a word site basically. To add your video, you're going to go to embed. You're going to have your YouTube link posted inside the URL. Hit insert and it will come up as the image from YouTube. When you go to click on play on it, it's going to show this little window. It says open a new tab. If you click on that, it'll open a new tab at the top of your screen, and I'll just play the YouTube video. Right now, it's just serving as a placement picture holder. You should also have in springtime added to reading. You should have added reading teachers resources. This is a piece that is a collective of work on phonics, reading fluency, wall charts, anchor charts, word analysis skills, a combined piece of work. I also added bias books piece. This is not required, just recommended because it's an infographic. It's a simple piece of work to insert. I did another infographic about read alouds. Again, this is not required. You do have to have 2 assignments and your teacher's reading resource assignment in there, which is a collection of work. The next subject you should have added to for spring is social studies. You want to insert your inquiry arc assignment that talks about the 3 C's, the college, career, and civic life. Another assignment I added was behavioral science. This was a group assignment. You don't have to have these 2. You do have to have 2 assignments though, and have the title and brief description of the assignment on the side. But you do have to have your DPI training, cultural response problem solving. This could be a simple image of you completing it and then aside the date that you completed it. You should also have done supporting students with special health needs. The assignments I recommend are the roles and responsibilities in a school setting, your medically fragile condition. This is the OHI, or your egg child. This is an infographic on what my egg child's disorder was, which is Hodgkin's disease, and it gave a brief description on it. You do have 2 DPI trainings that you will have to have for this class. This is a simple screenshot from each of those. This is an infographic. This is a simple screenshot for the mental health DPI training and list below when I completed it. This is a screenshot of the 2 student records and confidentiality DPI training with some others practicum goals on an infographic about students with special needs, with special health needs. You should also, at the end of spring, have your practicum 1 goals. You should have done an assignment on it. I would insert that and just a brief summary of your goals. Another assignment you'll have to put in, it can be any assignment. I did a piece on a TED Talk about, it was called We Are All Different, and That's Awesome. That was another assignment I did. At the end of practicum 1, you're going to have to do an evaluation with your teacher. This is practicum 1 placement. You're going to do a brief summary of where your placement was and what grade you worked with. And then you're going to take pictures of your evaluation, save them to your computer, go to images, upload, and then click on the image to open it once you've upload it. And then you can have them next to each other or on top of each other like this, or just next to each other. Make sure you keep all your font consistent and make sure the pictures don't look too dark. But that is the end of the spring semester, and I will see you back for the summer shortly.